Hi, I'm Heather Desjardins, and this is another edition of Get to Know Your Tutors. And today we have Leigha. Hi, Leigha.
Oh,
Hi. So, first question: how long have you been working with us?
I am just coming up to 5 years with the company.
And why was it that you got into the field of education?
Since a young age, I just knew that I was going to be a teacher, and that has looked different throughout my life. But I did do a work experience, in grade 10, I think I was, and I got to work with a grade 4 class. And I actually got to work with one of my teachers that had taught me in elementary school. And I remember after that, it was solidified that I wanted to be a teacher. I absolutely loved it. I loved that age. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, so that sort of locked in the path for you. Yeah. So aside from the teaching and tutoring, you have another important role with us as the Director of Education and Training. Why don't you tell people a little bit about what that other hat involves with the company?
Yeah, so I started on taking some extra roles. One of them includes interviewing prospective tutors. I also do the training of tutors. Along with that, some quality control. So we have regular observations that we have tutors complete where they record a session with a student. And so then I provide some feedback and do a lot of coaching along with tutors to make sure that they're doing the best they can for their students. I also answer tutor questions if things and issues arise as well. When a tutor is initially matched with a family, I go to the initial appointment to introduce the family to the tutor and also do this short student screening that goes along with that.
Yeah, so lots of really important tasks. Basically, things having to do with our programming and curriculum content, which you do fantastically, by the way. Your attention to detail far surpasses my own, which is great.
These writing workshops that we offer twice annually for students. I love the writing program so much. I find that it's ideal for our profile of students. It is called Writing Structure and Style, so it is a very structured approach to writing, which I like. So students learn how to make a very specific type of outline and then write based from that outline. And along with that, they learn stylistic techniques. So they learn some of those kind of grammar points about adding a quality adjective or a strong verb into their writing. And they always start with a source text. So instead of having to try to come up with some ideas, it does start where they can read something first and then base their writing off of that. Eventually that moves into some more creative and inventive writing. But I find it's a really excellent program for teaching writing. And I've seen a lot of success with the students that I've worked with.
Yeah. And one of the nice things too about this program is it doesn't restrict itself only to students who struggle with the reading and spelling. We've had students that the reading and spelling isn't an issue, but just the writing isn't as strong as they'd like. So it's nice that it can reach that wider population too.
Yeah, it's very easy to modify based on the level of the student. So we can work with students who are younger that would need some more basic writing techniques, but I find it translates really well across different abilities.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that let us get to know you a little bit better. And one of them is, what's a fun fact about yourself that your students wouldn't necessarily know?
Maybe not a fun fact, but an unusual fact is that one of my favorite foods in the whole world is onions. And I love every single type of onion cooked in every different type of way. So it's very odd. I don't usually tell a lot of my students that, but that's one strange thing about me.
So would you actually take any kind of pleasure from eating an onion like an apple? Are you at that level?
Not quite there. I do eat onions and salads and stuff, but yeah. I couldn't quite get to that point, I don't think.
Right. But you love them.
On pizza, onions and salad, onions on everything.
Well, hopefully you don't load up on too many onions right before meeting your poor students one-on-one. Hello. And what's your favorite thing about working for the Open Door?
I've told Heather this before, and honestly, I told her that at one point in my life, I didn't think I'd ever find a career that I just loved completely, that people talk about where it's like, oh, do something that you love. I thought, well, every job has its things that you're not going to love, or I just didn't think it was possible for me. And I worked in a lot of different areas. But I can honestly say I love this job. One of the things that I love the most is that I get to take that one-on-one approach with students. And I find when you can work one-on-one and individualize your approach, get to know the student, they can just make such great success. And I know a lot of the students we work with have struggled, they have low self-esteem, and I just love seeing those improvements and getting to encourage them along and kind of be part of their learning journey, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's nice. Yeah. And hopefully that one-on-one isn't after you just had your onion sandwich.
You said that.
I'm dropping the onion thing now, I promise. All right, so now we're just going to do some little rapid fire questions. It's just fun. Don't give too much thought to the answer. First thing that pops in your head. All right, so we'll start off easy. What color is your toothbrush?
It's one of those electric ones, so it's like white.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Would you prefer to relax at the ocean or the lake?
Oh, tough. Can I have both? Probably the lake.
Yeah. What chore do you absolutely hate doing?
Vacuuming.
Do you have a nickname? If so, what is it?
Do I want to share this?
Ooh.
Well, I have a middle name, Lou. So the nickname that I like is Lou, because my sisters still call me that.
Yeah, we'll go with that one then. The one that you're willing to share with the public.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then my last question of the day for you is if you can share a little story with us, just one of those great moments.
Yeah. One of the students that I had early on was just a little deer. And when I started with her, she couldn't read the most basic 3-letter words. And so we started working together, and it took some time, but once she started to catch on to things, it just clicked. And I remember that was in the spring that I started with her, and she was in about grade 2, couldn't hardly read a single word. And by Christmas, she wrote me this incredible card that said, "Dear Leigha, thank you for teaching me how to read." And I still have that card. I was going to pull it out actually and show it, but I wanted to keep things confidential and whatnot. But anyways, it meant a lot, and it was just amazing to see that this girl had such huge potential, and she just needed a different approach to learning. And when she had that, she just took off and blossomed. So that's my feel-good story.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's there's so many of these moments that we get to have in what we do, but yeah, there's always a few that kind of stand out, whether it's early on or yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure.
Bye, thanks.